Good morning. So I'm just on the train on my way to London. I got back to Edinburgh at about midnight last night from my parents' house. The flight was delayed, so I came back to collect little Sophie. But yeah, I am quite tired, so this has been a long morning already. I got up about 5 a.m. for my 6 o'clock train, and yeah, I'm excited but tired. So we've just arrived in London on the train. We're staying at Vanessa's house in Camden, and we've got the dogs with us as well. And so before we go to Chelsea Flower Show, we decided to have a little walk in Regent's Park. Is it Regent's Park? Yeah. So the dogs can have a bit of a stretch their legs. They've been on the train for 5 hours, and then we've got a dog sitter coming, and we're going to head off to the show. So it's going to be fun and exciting. I'm going to get soaked. So I'm here at the Chelsea Flower Show. It's been a bit of a washout so far, but the sun has finally come out and we're going to have a good look around the gardens. We've had to kind of hide away from the rain so far because it's been belting down, but now we can finally explore. I've had a beautiful glass of rosé and I'm ready to go. I'm feeling very happy and it's gorgeous here, so I'm excited to check it out. Come with me and let's have a look around. Things I really love about the Chelsea Flower Show is that there are so many different exhibitors here and you can get some amazing inspiration. This is really reminding me of what my courtyard in Edinburgh looks like with all of this heavy grey stone. The moss that is growing over these planters, nothing is new here, it's all very cultured and old. And I just love these huge trees which are in these gorgeous stone pots, and this is really giving me a lot of inspiration for my own garden. It's beautiful here. So one of my favourite things that I've discovered here at the Chelsea Flower Show is this beautiful rosé wine from South Africa near the region of Stellenbosch. And this is one of the most delicious rosés that I've ever tasted. It is kind of like a Provence rosé, cloudy pink, very light, super delicious. I'm going to order a few bottles of this, definitely for sure. Good morning, so we're just continuing our little tour of London. Today I'm going for a press breakfast at Fiona Fine's. You may have heard me talk about Fiona Fine's before. It's one of my favourite boutiques for tablewares and beautiful things for the house. I know that the store is decorated for the Chelsea Flower Show because I've seen it on Instagram and it's looking so cool, so I'm excited to show you that. And actually London is looking so amazing. The Jubilee is next week and we've got the flower show, so all of the stores have been decorated for that, and there's a really nice atmosphere here. Let's go to Fiona Fine's. Good morning. So I'm back in Edinburgh. I got back last night quite late, about 11:30. Actually, I was supposed to be staying in London for one more night, but I decided to cut the trip short. There seems to be a little issue with Sophie. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and I don't think it's anything to worry about, but she isn't eating her food and she's scratching a lot, and she does that when she's anxious, and she's also got a little bit of a cough. And I was walking her yesterday in London, and somebody walked past when she was doing this coughing thing and told me that it was something to do with the heart. So I thought that it would be best if I came home early, and she's got an appointment with the vet in about an hour, so we're going to go and head over to the vet and check that out. Sure, it's nothing to worry about. I think she's probably just very, very stressed. She's old now, she's 11 years old, and she's been used to a really stable routine throughout most of her life. Even though I travelled a lot with my ex-boyfriend, she always had either one of us there, so that if we were travelling or, you know, we had to go places, it was a lot easier for us to both manage that. Whereas now that I'm on my own, it's a lot more difficult for me to figure out what to do with Sophie when I have to travel. Last weekend I flew to my parents' house. Dogs can't fly, so I had to leave her behind someone came to stay at the house to sit with her. So that must have been stressful. And then going off to London, which is a very noisy, strange place, on lots of public transport, which is noisy. And then we stayed at Vanessa's house while we were there, where she's never stayed before. And when we went for our meetings and for our little events that we went to, we had a sitter come to the house to look after the dogs. So it's been quite a stressful, uprooting few days for Sophie. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it could be. But it is best to get it checked out, so we're going to do that at the vet, and hopefully it will all be okay. So I'm just in my local antique store, and outside when I walked past I noticed they had 2 of these maps. So they're exactly the same. Outside you can just see them through the window there. And I love these maps. I've wanted something like this for a long time. These are quite big. I'm not sure whether you can tell in here, but they're just simple black and white maps. And these are of Edinburgh streets, of the Edinburgh New Town where I live. And so I think I'm going to get these 2 maps. They are £3.50 for the pair. So I'm going to see how much I can bargain down. And I think these will really be what I've been looking for in my house. I wanted something for a long time that is just simple, chic and elegant, but still timeless. I think I've got a lot of flowers in the house, a lot of florals. These are quite statement pieces. I think they will look really great in my living room, so I think I'm going to get these 2 if we can get a good price. So one of the things that a lot of people comment on when I post pictures of this room, or if I show it on YouTube, is that it really needs a rug. And yes, it definitely does. It's something that I've been wanting for quite a long time. But as you probably know, rugs can be really expensive. They can be one of the most expensive things that you can get for the house. So it's kind of been a tricky thing to figure out how I'm going to do it. But I've been very lucky. I've had someone get in touch with me who makes and designs rugs, and they've offered to make me my own rug, which is so sweet and kind. I'm really excited about it. So the process has been that we have designed the rug together. I looked at rugs that I really liked, designs that I liked, and then we have been working together to create something for ourselves, and the next process is choosing the colors for the rug. So I ordered quite a few samples, you can see them here and here, and then what I do is I tell the guy what colors I want to use, and then we start to get the rug made. So I have to choose 5 colors for this rug, and these are the ones that I think I'm going to go for. So we've got this kind of earthy beigey brown, which I chose because it goes well with the wall color that we have in here. Then we've got this very light color, neutral, and I think I chose this one because this is the same color as the sofas. It has the same color as the fireplace, the bookcase. Another neutral, just because I think neutrals always work well together. We've got a slight grey here, and I chose this one because, again, some of the furniture has grey tones in it, like the table there. And also, I do like the dullness of grey in a room. If you can see the plant pot there, that's a dark grey, and I just really do like the rustic look of grey, so I decided to add in the grey. And then finally, we've got a little green. You know that green is my favourite colour, so I always like to include a green. And there are hints of green around the room. The skirted table over there has green in it, even though I am going to replace that pretty soon. And then there's a lot of green in that painting there. So I think all of these colours will work together really well, and hopefully I'll have a gorgeous new rug to share with you in the next few weeks. So yes, the new rug is just one of the ways that I'm going to change up and give this room a bit of a spruce up. And it's something that I've talked about in previous videos that I've been wanting to do for some time. But I've kind of spent the time just thinking about how I'm going to do that so that I don't waste any money and that everything is done properly. And I do have quite a few comments and emails from people saying, oh, please don't change the decor too much, you know, we really love the interior. And I do appreciate those comments, and I thank you for them. But I still love everything in this room. It's just not who I am at this point in my life. So everything in this house, more or less, I've had it for at least 10 years. I bought it when I was in my previous relationship, and we lived in the Cotswolds, and then we lived on the east coast of Scotland, and those were 2 very country residences where this decor was absolutely perfect for that environment. But now, as a single young bachelor who's living in a bustling city, it doesn't really reflect who I am at this point in my life. So that's what I want to address with kind of changing up some of the decor. And again, it's not going to be too drastic. It's still classic design that I love and that I think is the best decor for me. It's just making little changes so that it's more in keeping with who I am as a person now. So that is my plan. For example, like this green skirted table, I'm not sure whether you can see that on the camera, but that is something that I still really love now, and if it was in somebody else's house, I would appreciate it and like it. It's still beautiful, but it's not to my taste now, and I want something a little bit more chic, a little bit more elegant, and something that fits with who I am. So yeah, not major changes, just little touches here and there, as and when I can afford to do them. And I think it will really be good for me to live amongst new things and things that reflect who I am now, that I've bought for myself. So here we are. I did manage to secure these 2 plans of the Edinburgh New Town. I'm really happy about this. I saw these quite a few months ago, and I kept my eye on them. And I think they really will work very well here for that new look that I want to achieve of a more streamlined, elegant place for a young single guy to live. And these maps are maps, they're more like plans. They're so cool because they show all of these places that I know so well. Like this is called Carlton Hill here, and this is a really nice place to walk. It's quite a high vantage point overlooking the city, and then this is the street that I used to live in my previous house that you probably saw, Albany Street. I can say that now because I don't live there. So I have a lot of friends who live in Albany Street. And then we have the plan of the new town. So when you can just see how close we are here to the actual city centre of Edinburgh. So when you walk up this road here, this is called St Andrew's Square, and there are a lot of retail stores here. There's a Harvey Nichols there, Louis Vuitton here, all of the chic boutiques are here. And then here we've got a lot of restaurants and cafes, so this is a real bustling part of town. And then of course here is Princes Street, which is the main high street of Edinburgh. So it is cool to have this, and then on the other side it shows the old town. So it is relevant to my life now, but also if I ever move from Edinburgh, it's a nice memento of my life here. So that's why I thought it was such a good thing to have, because it tells a story, it's got a bit of a story to it, and it's relevant to my life. So these will always be a good purchase, and I'm really pleased that I managed to get them. So when I bought the two plans of Newtown Edinburgh, I thought that they would go really well either side of the fireplace here. Now I'm having second thoughts, because the wall lights here, which I really don't like, and I know a lot of you hate them as well, because a lot of people comment on them. This side here, the picture won't fit there with the wall light there. So I think what I'm going to do, probably, if I decide to put them either side of here, is take off the wall lights, remove those. What you can do with them is just take off the actual light, and then you can put electrical tape around them, and then cover it up with a picture, so that it's not making too much mess and making too much of a change. When I come to move out, I can put them back up. So that is probably the easiest solution if I'm going to do that. The thing that I'm thinking is, because also they're supposed to kind of be together rather than being one there, one there, they're supposed to be more like together like that. I'm thinking maybe this should go from here, and those two should sit over the fireplace together, just coming out either side slightly. I think that could look quite chic and cool. So I think that might be what I'm going to do. So these will have to go, which a lot of you will be rejoicing about because you hate them. And then I think it might look elegant with just very plain walls there. If we've got this huge black and white scene dominating the middle of the wall, I think it would look quite nice with just plain walls here, either side of the fireplace. Because there's the wall over here is plain now, as you can see. I took down 2 pictures, and it looks still quite chic. I like that. So I think that is what I'm going to do. They could go on the back wall here, but then I just think it's kind of a bit of a waste. You'll never really see them unless you're walking through the house. I want to be able to see it when you're sitting down with friends, and I want them to be kind of the focal point. So then this one will probably go on that wall in the middle, and that will be dominant on that wall. So it's kind of a mixture of artwork, which is what I always like to have. So you'll have like a impressionistic landscape piece here, and then a very formal architectural style pictures of the Edinburgh Newtown plan here. And I just love that black and white in the room. I think it really is going to lift the room. I'm so excited to get it done. Hopefully I'll be able to do it soon. So as you can see, I've already started to experiment with the wall lights. I wanted to see how easy it was to get them down. It is quite easy. They just unscrew. So I've ordered some electrical tape. This is something I've done before, where if you don't want to remove the lights and have to cover it up, you can cover it with pictures by just wrapping electrical tape around it, which stops it from becoming, igniting or causing a hazard or a fire. And then you can just tape it to the wall, and then the picture goes over the top. So it's quite a good solution if you're renting a house and you don't really like the wall lights and you want to cover them up inexpensively. So I've done that before. I'm probably going to do that again. So I've ordered the electrical tape, but I would rather get somebody else to mess about with that. I do have a handyman just a few doors down who's going to come around and tape it up and make sure that it's all safe for me to hang the pictures over the top of it. So hopefully in the next vlog I'll be able to share how the new pictures look. It's going to be exciting. So before I leave, I just want to give you a little update about Sophie. I hope I haven't worried you too much about that. So I was walking down to the antique store on the way to the vet, and then we went to the vet after that, and she's absolutely fine. The vet just thinks that she was probably stressed about having her routine disturbed. She checked her heart and everything else, and she seems to be fine. Because she's been scratching quite a lot, her skin's a bit sore, so she's prescribed some steroids just to let that stop the inflammation and just to make it more soothing. But yeah, she's okay. She just needs to go to the groomer now because her hair's quite a mess from scratching, and she looks a bit of a mess. So she's booked in for the groomer a lot earlier than planned because she got washed like a week ago before I went away. So she's got to go again and have a little bit of a haircut. But I'm glad that she's fine. It's always a worry when, you know, that your dog gets to a certain age. And I've been thinking about the day that Sophie departs this earth since I had her at the very beginning, and it really makes me upset to think about that. So it is very difficult to, when you start to see things not going well, but she's fine. So hopefully she'll be here for many more years to entertain us. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the little London vlog. It was supposed to be a little bit longer. I had a few meetings to attend, which have had to be rescheduled, and I wanted to share some more of that. But yeah, I wanted to get back just to make sure that she was okay. So I look forward to seeing you soon. It's the Queen's Jubilee next week, so I'm hoping to film a really beautiful film for that, maybe a little bit of the old NF style video that you are used to, along with the vlog style as well. But I hope that you are enjoying this vloggy style video. For me, it's so fun. I feel like I'm connected to you so much better, and I feel like I'm just chatting with a friend. So yeah, I'm enjoying doing this style. So yeah, have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next week. But until then, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.